I saw a very interesting tag recently. Essentially, they asked people with extensive bag collections what 5 bags would they pick if they had to start their collection all over again. My name is Cathy. Welcome to my channel. I talk about beauty, fashion, luxury, lifestyle. I've been thinking about this and I think I have an answer. Let's get to the 5 bags. This outfit is from Zara. I know I haven't worn it since 2020, probably right before COVID struck when we were able to go outside. I also decided to break out a dark lip. I've been wearing a red lip a lot during the winter, but I feel like I've worn a dark lip once or twice, and I was like, let me wear a dark lip before it's like 70 degrees all the time, and I'll feel kind of silly. I'm going to be talking about luxury handbags. If you want to build your handbag collection, I think it's better to just start at the budget you're comfortable at. The reason I'm using luxury brands is because luxury brands make classic styles year after year. They're iconic, right? Number one thing I would say is have a budget in mind. It doesn't have to be super, super high. If the luxury brand is not in your budget, use them as inspiration. As I mentioned, this tag is about the 5 bags that you would start your collection with if you were beginning over. And it made me think of my first luxury handbag. And the first luxury handbag that I can think of owning is a Coach top handle bag. I don't even know the name of the bag, but I do remember what caused me to buy it. I remember it was LL Cool J had a Hey Lover video, and the girl was walking down the street with this Coach top handle bag, looking fly. I was like, ooh. And I ended up seeing one very similar, or maybe the exact same bag at like a place called Dillard's, which is like a Macy's in Phoenix. And I ended up buying it. I was in college going to Arizona State. This bag, you couldn't tell me anything. And this was way back in the day when Coach was an entry-level luxury brand, and but it was pop. Me and my friends, it was like, oh, she got a Coach bag. She got a Coach bag. So I feel like Coach is looked at differently now, but back then it was like, oh, she got a Coach bag. Oh yeah, she's fly. And when I think about that bag, that was top handle. My second luxury bag was, I don't even know what style it was, but I know it was a Gucci bag, and it had the monogram, but instead of being like the light color that I associate with older Gucci bags, it was a dark color with the monogram pattern. It was a shoulder bag. The strap was like leather. I wore that bag to the ground. It's funny because I still have the dust bag for that bag, and I was gonna turn it into a mask. I didn't. I still use that dust bag. That dust bag is over 10 years old, so it's lasted longer than that bag did. When I thought about this question, I really thought more about categories versus bags, because I know a lot of people would just be like, oh, I want like a Chanel classic flap, and you could end up having 3 or 4 shoulder bags. And I don't really think, now that I've had purses for a while, I realize that it's good to kind of build a collection built on categories. And then once you have everything in the 5 main categories that I'm going to talk about, then you can add. I didn't realize that there was such a negative connotation with using the term purse. I use the word purse. I don't know. I grew up calling them purses, but now everybody's like, they're handbags, they're handbags, they're handbags. And I guess in the luxury realm, you're supposed to call them handbags. I know I've called them purses a few times, so don't kill me. So let's get to the bag. This is in no particular order, so I'm just gonna go, I think, kind of by size. So the first bag in my collection, if I were to start all over, would be a tote. And when I'm thinking of totes, I'm thinking of, number one, the Chanel Deauville, the Louis Vuitton Neverfull, the Goyard St. Louis. It's gonna fit over your shoulder. You can take it shopping, you can fill it up. Unfortunately, you can overfill it. I feel like a bag like that is just a workhorse that everybody needs. If I were to start all over, I would buy a tote first, because I know I can take it to work, I can travel with it, I can go to the mall, I can do basically everything except maybe go out on a date or get dressed up in it. But I feel like for the majority of what I need to do in my life, a tote is something that you're gonna utilize. My first category is a tote. The second category in my newly started handbag collection would be a work bag / travel bag. In my mind, what differentiates a work travel bag from a tote is the ability to close. So like a tote bag is wide open, you can see in it, you can put things in it. Where a work / travel bag is something that you can close. It could be a backpack. I mentioned before that I have a Celine tie bag that for years, I used to travel for work. I have a degree in computer science. I used to work as a software consultant. I used to travel every other week to the West Coast. I would take this porcelain tie bag everywhere. It's a gorgeous bag. It was super heavy. I put my 5-pound MacBook Pro, makeup, all kinds of stuff in there. And I also had a carry-on bag. I still have that bag. I love it. I still carry it sometimes. I don't carry it as often. That bag to me I loved it. Might look like a tote to some people, but it actually closes. And I think for travel, for work, you actually want something that closes, in my opinion. Some people don't care, but for me, that's how I'm differentiating it. I think the reason why at one time I used to carry a tote and the reason I switched to an actual work bag is one time I was driving and I think I slammed my brakes too hard and my laptop flew out of the tote. After that, I started carrying either a backpack or just a work bag that closes. When I'm thinking of things in this category, I'm thinking of things like my Celine tie bag. I'm thinking of the Chanel XXL. There's a couple big Chanel bags. I will say this category has not been as popular just because we've been on that whole mini bag trend. And I feel like that trend is coming back, but these larger bags have just kind of been moved to the side. And also we haven't been going to work. So, you know, just that, right? This is something that if we do go back into the office and for people who want to differentiate, or even sometimes, you know, when you want to travel, like having a tote and taking it through TSA and having to lay it down and then your laptop falls out, it's not the business. 0 stars. Do not recommend. You want something that closes, you can lay it down and you're good to go. Those are the bags that I like in that category. The third category I would start my collection with is this mid-range category that I think encompasses most of the bags that we know and love. So this category encompasses shoulder bags, crossbody bags, and top handle bags. These are the bags that, if you think of what a purse looks like, this is what this bag is. So I'm talking about the Chanel Classic Flaps, the LV Speedies, the Almas, the YSL LouLous, the Gucci Dionysus, I never can pronounce it correct. My friend's gonna be like, you said it wrong, but whatever. This is the category I'm talking about. And for most people, I think this is where most people start. If that's what your lifestyle is geared towards, if you need an everyday bag, this is the purse you could take to the mall. Before you buy 5 of these in this category, you should always get things in the other category. What I like about this category is that it's the everyday purse, right? It's the purse that you're going to the grocery store, you're going to a friend's house, you're going to brunch. This is the purse you're gonna carry. And everybody is different. There are some people I know who love the Louis Vuitton Neverfull and they carry it every day. I'm not that person. I would say majority of women are gonna be carrying purses in this category every day. It's convenient. It's usually, the size is manageable where you don't have to worry about it hurting your back. I did not realize there was such a divide in the handbag community between people who love shoulder bags and people who love top handles. And so a top handle bag is something like this, right? This is the Louis Vuitton Speedy 30. You're gonna carry it, you know, it's top of the hand, or you always carry it in your wrist. And another one that's really well known, everybody knows the Birkin. A Birkin is considered a top handle bag. So I would say this Bottega Veneta chain cassette bag is actually what I would consider more of a hybrid bag because it allows you to wear it as either a top handle bag, a crossbody, or a shoulder bag. The Chanel Classic Flap is more of a bag that you can either wear as a crossbody or a shoulder bag. And I think that's part of the appeal. People like the versatility. In this category, you don't want to be stuck. You don't want a bag that you can only wear one way. And I think that's why the Chanel Classic Flap has continued to be popular year after year. It's also the craftsmanship, but I think bags in this category are often, they do double, triple duty. So many divisions, but I would say in this category, I feel like we're able to find common ground. If you are going to build a handbag collection and you want an everyday purse, this is where you need to look. The fourth category I would start my collection with are evening bags / clutches. Now, let me tell you, I hate when I see somebody, like you go to a formal event and people are dressed in ball gowns and somebody has a shoulder bag, like somebody has a Chanel Classic Flap type of bag on top of their ball gown. It drives me insane. So this to me is an important category. If you go to events, if you like never go get dressed up and do anything fancy at night, sure, This is not a category you need to invest in. But I go out, when I was in Arizona, I had to actually I borrowed a clutch from my sister because I went out and I was like wearing something and I was like, oh, you know what? I actually want something that's very close to my body. I wanted something that was more subdued. And I think that's what an evening bag or a clutch gives you. Like there are times where you don't want your purse to even be noticed, but you need something to carry your keys. This is that category. Don't skip it if you are a person that goes out. If you never go out, okay, maybe this is one of the ones you can skip. But for me, this is a very important category. I've been finding that a lot of these bags, a lot of people are using a lot of the mini bags that are popular now, or they're using mini versions of larger bags. Like, you know, you'll see like, you will see a Chanel Classic Flat, but maybe they'll get a mini and they'll carry it at night. That's what I'm often seeing. I think this category is important. Let me know if you don't think it's important. I think it's important, but you guys are gonna learn that I'm picky. This is a category that I think is important if you want a well-rounded handbag collection. The fifth and final category I would use to start my collection with is what I would classify as the fun category. Bags that are in this category would be considered things like mini bags, fanny packs, you know, mini backpacks, anything that's not your typical everyday bag. It's something that it's cute, it's pretty, it's fun, it's not always practical. I will admit, I love a good mini bag right now. And I'll wear them, especially for pictures. I love them for pictures. I love them layered onto other things. This is not the bag I'm gonna build my whole entire collection on, but it's a nice to have. This one I would almost say maybe could be your fifth and final, be the last one I would recommend. If somebody asked me like, Cathy, which one would be first, which one would be last? Maybe, depending on your needs, I would either say a tote or a medium-sized bag would be number one. But for most people, this is the category that I would say is number 5. This is the bag you get after you have everything else and you're just like, I want to have some fun. These are the bags I think if you want to splurge on a color or a fabric or something that's totally crazy, that's not even in your closet, that you just fall in love with, do it in this category. I've also been really loving fanny packs, which I know every time people see it, they're like, you're wearing a fanny pack, but I try to wear them in very cool ways. I love them for the summer. I wore them, like the summer of 2019, I feel like I wore a fanny pack to every outdoor festival that I went to. And I wear my fanny packs sometimes around my waist, sometimes around my shoulder, like, you know, actually, I wear them sometimes crossbody. Super fun. It's kind of irreverent, and that's what I like about this. This is where you are going to show parts of your personality, and I think that really shows my personality. And I say in this category, ball out, because usually there are going to be things that are much smaller, so the price point is going to be better for you. And why not? This is not the category where I want you to be serious and think that, oh, this is everything that my handbag collection is based on. This is where you have fun and you actually can enjoy it. And these are the bags that you may not carry all the time, but if you want to show a little bit of who you are, this is where this category shines. So going back to what would I tell myself if I was starting all over again? So number one, I would tell myself, think about your lifestyle and does this bag fit into your lifestyle? This is the age of Instagram and influencers and people telling you, you need this bag. And I feel like every season there's a new it bag and brands send this bag to influencers for free and they wear them and they take pictures and they make it seem like they had so much fun. And you know what? The next year, you never see it again. Because influencers don't like it or it doesn't fit their lifestyle and they were just doing it for a check. So you really need to figure out, like, does this bag fit my lifestyle? Like for me, I love certain bags, but if it's only a shoulder bag, it is gonna be lower on my list. Make sure you actually like this bag. I know that goes without saying, but there are so many people who buy a bag and then they realize, oh, you know what? I don't even think I like this bag, but I bought it because I saw it everywhere. It was ubiquitous. I felt like I needed to, or I was afraid that if I didn't buy it now, it was gonna go up in price. Just some outside influence rather than I really love this bag and I'm obsessed with the bag. That to me is like, a bag has to make you feel something. You want a bag that you're like, oh my gosh, I really like it. Before somebody tells you it's the hot bag, it's the bag that you're seeing, you haven't even heard anything about it. You just know you want that bag. What also I would tell myself if I was starting again is read reviews. Go online, you know, there's the Purse blog forum, there's YouTube, so many resources where when I think I started my bag collection, there were these type of resources. You would see people carrying bags. I really I think when I started carrying bags, the only place you really saw bags were in magazines. And that's how I got to see bags. And I think, I'm dating myself, but I think the reason I got my Louis Vuitton Speedy 30 was because Jessica Simpson, if you remember, she had a reality show with her first husband, and she had a Speedy, the colorful ones, and it was her pet Louis. Yeah. I feel like Louis Vuitton hopefully sent her some merch, sent her some money, because I know she influenced me. I saw it and I was like, okay, I can't afford the colorful one, but I can afford the monogram one. At that time, that's all we had. Now you have such a wealth of information where you can make a better decision. So let's talk about color. Take a look at your closet. Everybody is different. I have a friend, she prefers seasonal bags, very bright, very interesting, like a black bag. She has black bags. A black bag is not her default. Where for most people, I would say start with a black bag. It's easy. It works with everything. Like most of my bags I started with, the first bag was not black, but I feel like a large number of the bags that I have purchased have been black, and that works with my wardrobe. It works with a lot of other things. You need to know what colors work for you. Also, you need to know if you actually like color. So I showed you my chain cassette bag, and it's in that bright kiwi color. I would not recommend that bag for most people. It is a hard bag color-wise to style. It works for me, but I've worked as a stylist. I know myself. I saw that bag and I was like, I think I know I can make this bag work. Not everybody can do it. It's a hard bag if you don't know how to wear it. And I don't see very many people wearing it. And I definitely can see how the color could wear people. And also, it might not be the right color for you. Like, that's another thing you have to realize is just like clothing, like there's certain colors, like if you see me, I try to wear colors that are complimentary to me. There's some colors I look awful in and you will never see me. You could be like, oh, we're gonna pay you $1 million, and I'll be like, I don't want to do that for something that's gonna be shown to the world or, whatever. No, not the kid. I'm not trying to look unattractive on camera in a picture. Why? When there's bags out there that look good on me. So really think about the color. Can we talk about money? Price shop. Compare. I have a video about buying pre-loved luxury items. That's right now for me my default. There are certain bags that I will get retail, but pre-owned, oftentimes never been used. Like if you can find a discount, why not? There are some bags you're gonna have to pay retail or maybe above retail, and I'm talking about Hermes Birkin, Hermes Kelly. You get it retail, you are so lucky. The price is cheaper, but if you get it on the aftermarket, you are gonna pay a premium. But really think about the price. It's one of those things like, they tell you negotiate, don't take the first price. When you see the bag, don't pay the first price. Look around, see if somebody's selling a brand new version of that bag if you're open to buying pre-loved. It allows your money to go further, because this is about building a bag collection and not just buying a bag. We're thinking about just like building a wardrobe is the same thing. All the same concepts apply when building a bag collection. Last piece of advice I would probably give myself, young Cathy, I'd be like, girl, don't pay attention to it bags, influencer thing. Don't go whole hog on a trend. Like, I like the mini bag trend, and I know it's gonna one day go away. I'm not gonna buy 50 of them. I also know that I can layer them. If in 2 years, if by the end of the summer, they're like, mini bags are over, I'm just gonna layer those mini bags on top of a medium-sized bag, and nobody's gonna be the wiser. But you really have to pay attention to some of these trends, because some of these trends are gonna be, like I think fringe bags were in last year. Do you like fringe? If you like fringe like that, then go after that trend. But oftentimes, you're gonna be better served going for classic styles, things that there's a reason why the Chanel classic flap is so popular. I know most people are like, I want a bag that no one ever has used before. Well, think about that when you're thinking about the longevity of a bag. There's a reason why certain bags have lasted. If you don't mind a bag that in 3 years, you might just be like, oh, that time has gone. And I know it myself, my friend and I have had a conversation about how do I feel like what Bottega Veneta is gonna be like in 3 years when it's super hot right now. It's been hot since 2019, it's 2021, it's still super hot. I'm trying to buy the styles that I consider to be future classics. I feel like the Bottega Veneta pouch is gonna be a classic. They're gonna do it. I also feel like there is longevity with the chain cassette. That's just me. In 3 years, I could be like, y'all, I was so wrong about that chain cassette. I loved it for the time being, and that's fine. Let me tell you, I'm gonna be able to resell it though. But I really think that when you're building a collection, don't go for the most trendiest bag. Sometimes, and I'm not saying you, like sometimes you can follow a trend by picking a certain color or a certain texture, but I always say try to go, when you're building a collection, classic shapes, classic styles. There is a place for that fun stuff, like I said, in that fun category, but every bag that you have should not be the it bag for that season. You should be getting bags that are time tested, you know, that people like for a reason, that people have said this is a good bag. I think the biggest thing about building a wardrobe or handbag collection, anything, is knowing yourself, knowing how you want to live, how you want to look, style. If you take all those things into consideration, I think you will do a great job. I think if I were to start all over, I think I would do a great job. A better job than I probably did, you know, in the beginning, where I was just this bag on TV. I see this bag on this LL Cool J video. I want that. And so now, and actually, I'm actually doing adding some more bags to my collection. I'm actually going to be taking my own advice, so keep an eye out here on my channel to see what I start adding, and I'll also try to refer to what category this bag is in the future. As a recap, the 5 categories I would restart my collection with are: number 1, the tote bag; number 2, a work/travel bag; number 3 is a mid-size bag that would either be like a crossbody or a shoulder bag or top handle. Number 4 is an evening bag/clutch. And number 5 is like, is the fun little sister, a fanny pack, a mini backpack, a mini bag. Let's call it the wild card, shall we? Thank you for sticking around. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you like this content or other purse content, please think about subscribing. And if you do subscribe, turn on notifications so you're alerted every time I upload. Thanks for watching. Bye.